you see me now, a veteran of 1,000 psychic wars.
Hi, welcome back to the Basement Gun Shop. I want to take this opportunity today to go a little off topic. And the reason is because of the severe weather we've been having and because of a video I saw on YouTube. So today's topic is preppers and prepping. So what do I want to say about it? The main point I want to drive home is if you're doing anything, keep your mouth shut. The video I saw this morning dealt with a woman and her husband who have done a number of videos on prepping. Okay? And they were contacted by the producers or the casting director of the show Doomsday Preppers. And they wanted them on the show. And they were all excited and they got this questionnaire sent to them. And then they read the questionnaire and they were saying how intrusive the questions were. For example, how much food and water do you have stored and where do you have it stored? How many guns do you have? And how much ammo do you have stored for those guns? And they wanted pictures of the guns and ammunition. No. Extremely intrusive questions. And I'm going to keep hitting my phone here because I want to keep this video short. So, rather than my normal long-winded video. One of the first episodes of Doomsday Preppers I ever saw was a family somewhere in Arizona who built this rather large compound out of shipping containers. And they made it square with wooden walkways up top and spotlights on the corners and this, that, and the other. And during the course of the show, the voiceover says, somewhere near Phoenix, bingo, Google Earth. Phoenix, you go about an hour and a half to the east and about 20 minutes south, even from a satellite, big, square box. Not a natural formation, sticks out like a sore thumb. Now I can Google Earth a path right to their door, if I so choose. And everything I'm saying in this video is going to be from the perspective of the bad guy. This is what the preppers say, who are trying to be self-sufficient and take care of themselves and take care of their family. And then you have the bad guys who are more than willing to take whatever they want from whomever they come across. And these are the people that you have to worry about. So, I can now Google Earth a path right to their door. They showed what food they have stored. They showed the layout of the compound. And they showed what armaments they had. Just from that, I now know the shape of the compound, which means all my intel's done. So if I get in or get to you, I already know the layout. Which means I can formulate a plan to get in there, get what I want, and deal with the people who have what I want. They tried to show how bulletproof their compound was. They backed up 100 yards and shot it with a .22 long rifle. A .22 long rifle at 100 yards barely has the energy to punch through a 2x4 and some sheetrock, let alone 1/8 inch corrugated steel. But if you got something like a .308 or 30-06 or larger calibers, or something like a .243, that'll probably punch through that 1/8 inch corrugated steel. So now I know what type of armament I need to defeat your defenses. And then there's spotlights up on the corners so they can see what's going on. As soon as they turn those spotlights on and come up on those wooden walkways, they're targets. And if they don't come out, you've got wood on a metal shipping container. Out in the desert, that's some pretty dry wood. A little bit of gasoline and a match, and you'll turn those shipping containers into an oven. Bad plan, Junior. So the point I'm trying to make in this whole video Doesn't matter if you're thinking about prepping, if you have some stuff stored, or if you're a balls to the wall prepper, keep your mouth shut. The military refers to it as OPSEC, or operational security. When I was in the Navy, I was a submarine missile tech. I worked on C-3 Poseidon submarine launched ballistic missiles. In other words, I worked on nuclear weapons. Some of the things you were told, and learn this statement well: I cannot confirm nor deny the presence of nuclear weapons on my vessel. I can't confirm or deny. It may seem like a very generic statement, but it's not saying yes and it's not saying no, so it's not telling anybody anything. From there, they just have to take a guess. I will neither confirm nor deny the crew complement of my vessel. Okay? I will neither confirm nor deny our flyaway date, because ballistic missile submarines have two crews. One crew's out on the boat, the other crew's doing off-crew, which is school, R&R, training, stuff like that. And then they go and they take the boat from the other crew, and the other crew comes back for R&R and school and training. So you can't confirm or deny troop movements. It all goes back to a saying that I'm not sure whether it was World War II or if it actually originated with World War I, but loose lips sink ships. The easiest way to stop an entire battalion, regiment, or company of men from getting to the battlefield is hit the troop ship and sink them all at one shot. And that is a cold hard fact of war. You hit the troops when they're massed before they get onto the battlefield and become mobile. Being a prepper or storing food and water is no different. If you open your mouth and things go sideways, there's no telling who knows about what you have stored to keep your family safe and sound. And there's no telling what their intentions may be. They may just decide, get 10, 15 people and come for what you got because they don't have it and they think they're entitled to it. So when the entitlement herd can't zip their EBT cards or get to some other government program to get their whatever, you just made yourself a target. I've had this very same discussion with a number of people that I work with. And I've discussed openly with them, in a general way, what I've done, what they're doing, how our plans differ, because your plan is going to be unique to your situation, or mine, or whatever. I have a girlfriend who has 2 sons, and I have a great aunt who lives about 2 minutes walking distance from my house. My great aunt's 95. She has 6 kids. 3 of them live out of state, 3 live in state. The closest lives about 20 minutes away. 30, 40 minutes if the roads are bad, especially with winter weather. If something happens to my great aunt, I'm not going to like it. So I'm going to take care of her until her son or one of her sons who live close to her can get to us. Because we're family, and that's what family does. You take care of each other. So, you know, you can laugh about preppers. You can call them foolish or whatever. Personally, I think they're being responsible. When I was a kid, growing up in this very house, my grandmother would say to me, go downstairs and get me a can of whatever off the shelf. Corn, green beans, this, that, the other, whatever. And I would come downstairs and go to the back cellar, and there's a pantry back there, and those shelves were always stocked full of canned goods. And I thought about this when I was setting up to do this video. Not like I set up much. The workbench is a mess because I'm moving stuff around to get my mill in here tomorrow, but that's besides the point. I think the reason for that is my grandmother and my grandfather, they lived through the Great Depression. They lived through World War II. They saw the rationing in this country so that the troops had everything they needed. Now think about that. When was the last time any domestic product was rationed in the United States? The early 1940s during World War II. That was it. We have not seen rationing in this country since. And this is 2014. So it's been over 70 years since any kind of domestic rationing happened in the United States. Our infrastructure has grown and grown and grown to the point where we can support millions of people who aren't working. On a humanist side, it's a good thing, and in some ways it's a bad thing. So what happens if the lights go out for 3 or 4 days straight? The entire power grid goes down. Or just in your area, you're out for 3 or 4 days. How much water do you have stored in your house? How much food do you have stored in your house? Can you keep your house warm? Can you keep your family safe? Now when I say safe, it doesn't matter whether it's an asteroid hitting the Yucatan Peninsula or some scumbag breaking into your house in the middle of the night looking for drug money or whatever he can steal. Can you keep your family safe? So, the first rule of security is don't let anybody know. As soon as you tell someone what you have and what your plans are, you are putting yourself at the mercy of everyone that person trusts. It's kind of a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing. You know, I tell you, or I tell a friend at work, I have X, Y, and Z stored. And in conversation, he tells his wife. He's not doing it out of malice. In conversation, at the next family gathering, she tells her brother. So now, I've told a friend of mine from work. Now there's his wife, who I've only met once. Her brother, who I've never met and know nothing about. And he could be sitting at a bar with his wife, having a drink, talking about this, and some guy down the road hears him say to his wife, yeah, my brother-in-law works with this guy from X town, and he's got this, and this, and he's got this many guns and this many rounds of ammunition and da-da-da-da-da. And the guy sitting next to him at the bar is just some scumbag looking for an easy score for drug money, and he comes up here looking for my place. Unfortunately, that is how information gets out. And that is how people lose their lives. Whether it's the scumbag breaking in who isn't ready for what I'm ready to do to defend myself, my family, my loved ones, my property, or the person who isn't willing or is unaware that the person's in the house, and I come walking up out of the cellar and I get shot or stabbed or clunked in the skull with a lead pipe or a monkey wrench or whatever. Okay? So, first rule, keep your pie hole shut. Second rule, don't tell nobody. Rule number 3, if there's any questions, see rule numbers 1 and 2. There you go. That's my 2 cents on the whole prepping and preppers subject. Whether or not you think I am that's fine. Whether or not you think I'm not, that's fine too. I'm not overly concerned about that. What I am concerned with is my safety and the safety of my loved ones. Dawn, her 2 boys, and my great aunt, until one of her sons can get here to take care of her. It's that simple. You keep your family safe, you keep your mouth shut. Actually, what I should say is, if you keep your mouth shut, you keep your family safe. So, my main point is, as long as nobody knows what you have, no one's going to give you a second look. As always, I encourage you to do your own research. Make up your own mind. Do the work, gain the knowledge. If I left you with questions, by all means, leave them in the comments. Better yet, if I left you with some questions, do some research and get the knowledge. No knowledge is a bad thing. And whatever you have up here is yours forever, and no one can ever take that away from you. It's another one of the things I learned when I was in school. When I was in the Navy. I was constantly going to school when I was in the Navy for years. And there was an old saying, they can bust you, they can fine you, they can restrict you, they can give you extra duty, but what they put up here is yours forever, and they can never take that away from you. So, again, that is my 2 cents on the whole preppers and prepping thing. I encourage you, leave some comments, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, even better. So, thanks for tuning in to the Basement Gun Shop and this off-topic kind of little rant/discussion about preppers and prepping. As always, I hope to see you next time. Keep shooting and stay safe.